All right, guys. In an interview with Radio Times Magazine, Star Trek 3 co-writer and co-star Simon Pegg said the following about the project. They had a script for Star Trek that wasn't really working for them. I think the studio was worried that it might have been a little bit too Star Trek-y. Avengers Assemble, which is a pretty nerdy comic book, supposedly niche thing, made $1.5 billion. Star Trek Into Darkness made $500 million, which is still brilliant, but it means that according to the studio, there's still $1 billion worth of box office that don't go and see Star Trek. And they want to know why. Star Trek Beyond will be directed by Justin Lin and will be released on July 8th, 2016. Dennis, what do you make of Simon Pegg's comments?
It actually kind of scares me a little bit, because if he's talking to the studio and they think $500 million is too niche for them, like, what do they want out of this? Like, it's look, Star Trek, I really like Star Trek. I like the Star Trek movies that JJ did. I know a lot of diehard fans didn't, because it changed the philosophy of what Star Trek was. But this isn't the comic book movies. This isn't Star Wars. It's not going to be that mainstream. And JJ already turned it pretty mainstream. So how far are they going to go? Are they going to make Spock turn into, like, every time he gets angry, he turns into a giant monster? Or are they going to have Captain Kirk, take a super serum and carry a shield around? It just frightens me. Christian, what do you think?
I agree with you. I mean, look, you may or may not know, I'm a Star Wars fan. I don't know if you guys know that or not. But when you hear they didn't want it to be too Star Trek-y, as a Star Trek fan, I would be like, what are you talking about? It's like if someone said to me, well, we're going to do a Star Wars movie, but we're not really going to do it too Star Wars-y. That's what happened before, and fans went, that's not Star Wars. And now when you saw the new Star Wars trailer, you went, that's Star Wars. Star Trek needs to be the same thing. And I think that what JJ did was mixing a little bit, because one of the reasons I really enjoyed the first one is because it did feel a little Star Wars-y to me. But as a fan of the Star Trek lore, I think that I probably would have felt like some of those fans did, but I still thought it was a great movie. But as far as the studio, I think that those movies, and especially because it's Paramount, so like, well, Disney's making all that money. We've got to try to figure out how to make that much. Just do what's working for you guys. Make a good story. Don't try to change the mythology. If Simon Pegg had a good take on it, let him just develop a good story, because that's what fans react to. Fans react to good stories, great performances, and if it's really a great movie, the numbers will go up.
Yeah, David?
I mean, for me, it scares me a little bit, because I did grow up watching Star Trek. That was the first science fiction that I ever got into as a kid, was Star Trek, before I ever saw Star Wars, watching Next Generation on TV, and then watching the old Star Trek films. There was always overarching themes. Some of them a little bit maybe too on the nose. I mean, you had the voyage home with the whales and saving the whales, and making sure we don't hurt the sea, and the whale hunting theme. And then I loved Undiscovered Country, which was the fourth movie. That was very Shakespearean, a lot of Shakespearean themes in there, some great actors. I love the slower burn Star Trek. I don't mind J.J. Abrams' take on it, but I don't want them to make it Star Wars. Like, don't copy people. Right. Don't copy Avengers. Don't make it the biggest action movie of all time. That's not what Star Trek is. Star Trek is a slow burn science fiction story, and I hope they stick with that, if they only make $500 million.
I know.
Oh my
How
goodness.
sad.
So poor. They're going to be in the poorhouse. Paramount's going to shut down.
But the thing is, though, we joke about that, but like when you have these juggernauts, what Warner Brothers is doing right now, and they're going to have the DC universe, which is going to make tons and tons of cash, and we know what Disney's doing. And Paramount lost Indiana Jones. They lost, and they have Mission Impossible right now. And Star Trek is the one. I can understand the mentality behind it. I do, but it's like they want to get it. We need $1 billion franchise too, and it's just take it easy. Just make sure you have the right story and character.
And you should look at your franchise and say, how do we take our franchise and take it to the next level? Not, hey, they're doing this, so let's copy them. Right. I mean, that's not what they're saying, but I mean, with the comments that Simon Pegg's making,
makes it seem like it.
Yeah, and also I think he was talking about he was talking about Roberto Orsi's original script that was too Star Trek-y. Yeah. And I wonder if that was one of the reasons why he eventually left the project.
I wish we could read that script. I'd love to read that script. The Roberto Orsi's.
Yeah.